Nothing exists except atoms and empty space. Everything else is opinion. Happiness resides not in possessions and not in gold. Happiness dwells in the soul. The man enslaved to wealth can never be honest. The wise man belongs to all countries, for the home of a great soul is the whole world. Everywhere man blames nature and fate, yet his fate is mostly but the echo of his character and passion, his mistakes and his weaknesses. My enemy is not the man who wrongs me, but the man who means to wrong me. Life unexamined is not worth living. Sexual intercourse is a slight attack of apoplexy. Our sins are more easily remembered than our good deeds. The brave man is not only he who overcomes the enemy, but he who is stronger than pleasures. The wise man's home is the universe. The pride of youth is in strength and beauty. The pride of old age is indiscretion. Men should strive to think much and know little. It is better to destroy one's own errors than those of others. The sweetest things become the most bitter by excess. Soul and intellect are just the same things. The word is the shadow of the deed. We think there is color. We think there is sweet. We think there is bitter. But in reality, there are atoms and a void. Many much learned men have no intelligence. Men find happiness neither by means of the body nor through possessions, but through uprightness and wisdom. If your desires are not great, a little will seem much to you. For a small appetite makes poverty equivalent to wealth. More men have become great through practice than by nature. Happiness does not reside in strength or money. It lies in rightness and many-sidedness. It is greed to do all the talking, but not to want to listen at all. Poverty in a democracy is as much to be preferred to what is called prosperity under despots, as freedom is to slavery. The brave man is not only he who overcomes the enemy, but he who is stronger than pleasures. Some men are masters of cities, but are enslaved to women. Everything existing in the universe is the fruit of chance and necessity. Medicine heals diseases of the body. Wisdom frees the soul from passions. It is hard to fight desire, but to control it is the sign of a reasonable man. It is godlike ever to think on something beautiful and on something new. The first principles of the universe are atoms and empty space. Everything else is merely thought to exist. Magnanimity consists in enduring tactlessness with mildness. The animal needing something knows how much it needs. The man does not. One should practice much sense, not much learning. The wrongdoer is more unfortunate than the man wronged. Immoderate desire is the mark of a child, not a man. Men will cease to fool only when they cease to be men. Hope of ill gain is the beginning of loss. Some men are masters of cities, but are enslaved to women. Throw moderation to the winds, and the greatest pleasures bring the greatest pains. Men have made an idol of luck as an excuse for their own thoughtlessness. Raising children is an uncertain thing. Success is reached only after a life of battle and worry. You can tell the man who rings true from the man who rings false, not by his deeds alone, but also by his desires. Reason is often a more powerful persuader than gold. I would rather discover one true cause than gain the kingdom of Persia. All things happen by virtue of necessity. Nature has buried truth deep in the bottom of the sea. One great difference between a wise man and a fool is, the former only wishes for what he may possibly obtain. The latter desires impossibilities. Education is an ornament for the prosperous, a refuge for the unfortunate. 'Tis hard to fight with anger, but the prudent man keeps it under control. Good breeding in cattle depends on physical health, but in men on a well-formed character. Nature and education are somewhat similar. The latter transforms man, and in so doing creates a second nature. The man who is fortunate in his choice of son-in-law gains a son. The man unfortunate in his choice loses his daughter also. If thou suffer injustice, console thyself. The true unhappiness is in doing it. Beautiful objects are wrought by study through effort, but ugly things are reaped automatically without toil. The offender who repents is not yet lost. It is hard to fight against anger. To master it is the mark of a rational man. We know nothing in reality, for truth lies in an abyss. Nothing exists but atoms in the void. Coition is a slight attack of apoplexy. For man gushes forth from man and is separated by being torn apart with a kind of blow. Moderation multiplies pleasures and increases pleasure. Do not trust all men, but trust men of worth. The former course is silly, the latter a mark of prudence. To speak but little becomes a woman, and she is best adorned who is in plain attire.